first league match for Inter Miami in the Lionel Messi era brings them to New York City. Inter Miami and the New York Red Bulls.
I think we tried to kind of limit that outside noise as best we can. At the beginning of that first half we did well, but obviously falling behind wasn't what the start we wanted, and I think you know, he had an impact on the game. I think we let him get a little comfortable when he came into the game, but you know, he's a great player and had a great little moment there. And I think we have to be better in kind of facilitating our style of play more throughout the whole game, and it's a disappointing result for us.
A historic night tonight at Red Bull Arena as Leo Messi, Sergio Busquets come into town with Jordi Alba, make their Major League Soccer regular season debut. Steve, a disappointing result obviously from a Red Bull perspective. Never want to lose points at home, but let's talk first about the atmosphere here at Red Bull Arena.
Absolutely incredible atmosphere, sold out. Again, but what you said in reference, just the simple thing is that you started the game with Busquets and Messi, Martinez on the bench, a golden opportunity for this team to get 3 points at home. Unfortunately, could not pull it off here tonight.
And you can't say that Red Bull didn't have their chances, right? Opportunity for Romeo Fernandez, beginning part of the game, first 15 minutes of the second half. Looked like there was a goal to be had, and then the 60th minute, Tata Martino makes the subs. The game changes, Miami doubles their lead, and unfortunately Red Bull comes away with nothing.
Yeah, Red Bull made some adjustments at halftime, made some substitutions. That first 15 minutes of the second half, it looked like a completely different team. Fortunately for Miami, they had the guys. They had the thoroughbreds on the bench. They were able to come in, change the complexity completely about the game.
Now, based on other results tonight, Red Bull might stay within 3 points of a playoff spot. What they do know they have coming up is an incredibly difficult 3-game road trip over the course of the next couple games. Wednesday night in New England, next Sunday in Philadelphia, a week off, and then NYCFC. Let's talk about the first two of those, Steve. New England, a place near and dear to your heart, but in kind of the opposite way. Always difficult to get points in Foxborough. Red Bull, though, has had success so far this year against the Revs.
Have had some success against the Revs, and it looks like also Gustavo Bo will not be playing because of an injury. Another golden opportunity for this team to go into Foxborough and get 3 points because it's needed now.
Red Bull has not had a ton of success on the road so far this year, but now you start to look at what's left on the schedule. You're going to have to figure out ways not to just get a point on the road, but start to get 3.
Yeah, you're going to have to figure out a way one way or the other, whether it's at New England or even at Philadelphia. These are two teams that obviously are ahead of us right now. Need to catch up in some capacity.
You look at the game against the Union, which will be over the course of Labor Day weekend. Philadelphia team, which has in essence dominated Red Bull over the course of the last couple of years, including this year in the Leagues Cup, knocking them out in PKs. We talked about it in that game, and it will probably be a similar theme for us going into the game on that Sunday. At some point, the tide has to turn.
Yeah, and for me, I think there's a really good opportunity with the New England to go into New England and get some points. This Philadelphia game could be the game that kind of defines the season, or at least the final third of the season. Meaning that, you know, I'd love to see nothing more than this Red Bull team come together right now with everything that's happened over the last couple of weeks, come together and get a result at a place where they've always had, or at least the last couple of years, a very difficult experience there in Philadelphia.
Let's finish with this one. Going into those last now few games, several games that Red Bull will have, what would give you encouragement to think that this team has enough to get themselves over the playoff line?
Well, for me, I think, you know, we've continued to have some success finding Laquinus on the ball, which is obviously a big factor for us going forward. It's just a matter of what are we going to do in the final third? Are we going to be able to finish our chances? Are we going to have our forwards step up? You know, like with the likes of Van Zer or Corey Burke, who's now healthy, Tom Barlow. Who's going to guy that is going to step up and get us some goals right now?
Red Bull will take to the road starting Wednesday against New England, the following Sunday in Philadelphia. Key stretch of the season for this New York Red Bull team. Still below the playoff line. A lot to be played for over the course of the next few.